This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This is not a one-off event. This person is not the only one doing this.
A man facing rape charges is accused of targeting homeless women. Homeless advocates say police aren't doing enough to protect these women.
And we've talked about a push toward phonics-based learning when teaching kids to read and funding to kickstart the effort. Coming up, we've got a better idea of how much money districts in Oregon are projected to get to help kids learn to read.
Big news in Southwest Washington this morning. Today is officially the first day of school in the Camas School District. Coming up in our top local story this half hour, we'll take a look at what it took to resolve a nearly 2-week-long teacher strike and get those kids back in the classroom.
That is good news. That's my kind of work week, one day. Right? Drop
We're
back
here
in on Friday. Yes. Hope you have a great one. Rod's going to get us started with a look at the forecast.
Please have energy group. I need you to uplift my spirits. My football team
that's right. Sorry.
That was a good game.
Keep the energy going. I need you.
Yay.
People have no idea why you don't have the energy.
Well, my football team lost on NBC on KGW last night.
Oh.
Buck up.
Yeah, right. Move on.
Here's my lack of energy. Isn't this pretty outside? We have mostly clear skies from the Wells Fargo building, 57 degrees. Temperatures have fallen to the point that I'm watching and expecting some fog pockets, especially out in Hillsboro, where it's now 49 degrees. It's 56 in Salem, 53 down in Almsville. This will go on to be a beautiful sunny day. The bus stop is all good, 54 degrees. Out the door, 69 at lunchtime. Kids get out of school on a Friday. It'll be sunny and about 80 degrees. Here's Chris McGinnis.
It is kind of hard to feel bad for the defending Super Bowl champions. But in any event, we are clear out there this morning. The drive all in green on the traffic map. There's the Banfield out near Providence Medical Center. We've got something going on here on the shoulder. This is southbound I-5 near Wilsonville Road, but so far it looks like traffic's getting around that. We'll keep you posted on that. That could be a pinch point here if that stays out for too much longer. But Brenda, so far we're in pretty good shape.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, today, as we mentioned, first day of class for students in the Camas School District. Their teachers had been on strike, but just ratified a new contract yesterday.
KGW's Devin Haskins is live this morning outside Liberty Middle School in Camas, where the school year will start, Devin, in just a few hours.
Yeah, 9 a.m. is when the Liberty Lions will take to the front doors and enter the middle school here for the first day of school. Now, teachers went on strike on what should have been the first day of school last Monday, but that got pushed back with them being on strike and then ratifying the new agreement yesterday. So that first day of school starts 9 days later today. Teachers voted on yesterday to end the strike by more than 450 members of the Camas Education Association voting overwhelmingly in favor of the new contract. Teachers were asking for increases in pay, more support for special education, and smaller class sizes. This agreement does reduce target class sizes across most grade levels, but that begins next year. Raises also teacher pay by 13% over the course of the next 2 years. And finally, boosts funding per student for PE, library, and music programs over the next 3 years. Teachers say they're excited to see kids back in the classroom. This strike ends the first ever strike within the Camas School District. Now, within Clark County, there's still another district on strike. The Evergreen School District will enter its 7th day of strikes today as the teachers there in that district still continue to work for new contracts. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for that report, Devin. Now to an update on a Portland man accused of luring 4 women into his home, then sexually assaulting them. Authorities say 49-year-old Konstantin Svidenko deliberately targeted women who are homeless.
Police also say they believe there could be more victims than just the 4 they already know of. Here's KGW's Blair Best with more.
Anna is new to living on Portland streets.
Just a few months.
Though it didn't take her long to learn the dangers that come with it.
There's such a hatred out here specifically targeted at women at times, where there have been some women that have just been abused and just get beat up for no reason.
She protects herself the only way she knows how.
I hide a lot.
She wasn't surprised when we told her of the man Portland police arrested earlier this week, 49-year-old Konstantin Y. Svidenko. He's accused of repeatedly giving homeless women drugs as a way to lure them into his Northeast Portland apartment before sexually assaulting them.
It reminded me of a guy that allowed me to come over to shower but he stripped down naked and sat naked in his home while I showered. And it was like I couldn't tell him that he couldn't be naked in his own home, but I wanted to shower. I needed to shower.
She got out safe, but knows that's not always the case for some women, like those who accused Svidenko.
It was hard. It's hard out here.
Court documents show multiple women came forward identifying Svidenko as their abuser. Police confronted him back in June, but he denied ever being with those women. 3 months later, police received more reports of Svidenko threatening women. They arrested him on Tuesday. He now faces 17 charges, including rape, kidnapping, and strangulation.
This is not a one-off event. This person is not the only one doing this.
Ebony Brown runs Greater Good Northwest, a group supporting homeless people. She believes police should have done more to protect these women.
Even if you're doing an investigation, you can still warn the women that are out here every day, potentially the next victim. A lot of women don't have necessarily the fight in them, or they're in a fragile place. They can't fend off these folks.
Blair Best, KGW News.
So if you or anyone you know are a sexual assault survivor, you are not alone. Help is available anytime by calling the National Sexual Assault Hotline. The number is right there on your screen. That is 1-800-656-4673.
Overnight, there was a shooting in Rockaway Beach. Tillamook County deputies shot and killed a man near North Juniper and 3rd. A witness told us she saw the man in the front yard of a home yelling profanities at police and throwing something at them. At one point, she heard officers tell the man not to go inside the house. Then about 5 minutes later, she says she heard 2 gunshots. It's not clear who fired, but the man was hit and died at the scene. No officers were injured.
All right, before we rejoin Rodney Hill for his weekend forecast, let's talk about something else happening this weekend at the Portland Art Museum, just down the street from our newsroom here in downtown Portland. We're talking about the Crafting Pinocchio exhibit. There's just a few days left to check this out. It'll be open this weekend, and then next weekend is the final weekend to see this exhibit. It's really a behind-the-scenes look at the production of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio and the movie's use of stop-motion animation. So if you're not familiar with this film, it won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature in 2022. It's also streaming at the moment on Netflix. If you've not heard of Netflix, wake up, people. So we will have more looks behind this great exhibit at the Portland Art Museum throughout the morning here on Sunrise.
You guys seen the movie?
No, I need to.
No.
None of us have.
Wow. It's about like a puppet, from what I understand.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. One of the characters grows a long nose at some point.
I think so. I think you're right, Drew.
Yeah.
Well, that covers that, doesn't it? All right, let's go to our satellite picture. I thought maybe one of us would have seen it. Boy.
Once the weather gets a little colder, you know.
Oh, that's fair, Christine. It's not quite get indoors out of the weather movie time yet. All right, we've got some rain moving out of Idaho into Montana. We are all dry, and boy, I tell you what, this is turning into quite a stretch of dry, and I hope you find it to be very pleasant late summer weather. Here's what Futurecast shows. I talked earlier in the show that temperatures in places like Hillsborough, good morning, Washington County have been dropping into the upper 40s, so I expect we'll see, due to that, some fog pockets around. Futurecast shows mainly some low clouds up around the north coast, and then otherwise sunny. We have maybe a fog pocket around tomorrow morning. Otherwise, that was Saturday that flew by, sunny. Here's Sunday. Now, Sunday we start to change it up a little bit. Just partly cloudy skies coming. Here's a wave of some cooler weather that will come in Sunday overnight into Monday morning, and maybe there's a dab of some light moisture with that. Winds are going to be fairly light today, kind of gentle breezes, mainly to 15, even out in the Columbia River Gorge. Overall, it is mostly clear up top. We're at 57 degrees out at the airport. Again, watching for some fog pockets. Kelso Longview, one of the spots that's dropped, 49. Again, the lower your temperature goes, the better the bet that you'll eventually have some fog this morning here on the west side. It's also 49 time out in Baker City. Forecast numbers for a nice day. Early fog, cloud pockets at the beach. Otherwise, plenty of sun expected today. Upper 60s to about 70. Winds should be pretty light today and tomorrow at the coast, by the way. And then for the valley, most of us are going to be right around 80 degrees. PDX got up to 78 yesterday. Numbers up in Southwest Washington, Longview 77, Battleground Vancouver 80, 81. There are those light winds. And here is the very quiet 7-day. I still have tomorrow as the peak of the heat day, if you will. 81 today, 87 tomorrow, and then the partly cloudy 82 degrees Sunday. If there's anything that I am not going to get right, maybe Sunday fools me, is a little bit cooler than I'm showing. We are expected to be back into the 70s of morning clouds on Monday, but then we warm right back up with sunny days into the mid part of the week. It's early, but Chris McGinnis has our first traffic snafu. Here he is.
Yeah, we pick it up on the east side of Vancouver. Rod, this is live from our washout camera. I-205 southbound and the ramp from SR 500. I'll step out of the way here. There's a crash here that has the ramp. I mean, they are letting traffic on from the ramp, but you can see here that they've got to kind of get around this crash scene, which has been moved over to the shoulder, but it obviously is creating some local trouble here on I-205 southbound and on the ramp from SR 500 to I-205 south. So give yourself a couple of extra minutes to get around this, guys. This is our first significant trouble spot of the morning commute. Christine?
Okay, thanks for keeping tabs on that for us, Chris.